Fitness Bitch with 10 Meters Fitness, and today we're talking about why IIFYM, if it fits your macros, is not for everyone. I got the idea to do this video by watching a fellow YouTuber. His name is Corey Metzinger. Great channel, by the way, if you haven't checked him out. I'm going to link his channel in the description, just if you want to take a look at it. So anyway, moving on. The reason I believe, you'll remember, if you follow my channel, you'll remember that earlier on in the year I posted a video comparing if it fits your macros versus clean eating. And my conclusion from that was, to the average gym bro, I'd recommend if it fits your macros. Simply because when you boil it down, it's the best bang for your buck, really. It's achieving the way to achieve the most results with the least restriction on what you can eat, which for most people is going to lead to the most consistency overall, which is going to lead to the best results. There's a couple reasons why, even though I say that if it fits your macros, might not be for everyone, and that is because it all comes down to your personal relationship with food. Now, most of the time if it fits your macros, like I say, because most results for the least restriction, it's going to be best for most people. But for some people, the relationship with food works such that the way in which that restriction applies is actually significant, because with if it fits your macros, the restriction is you can eat whatever you want as long as you restrict the amounts of these things that you're eating, such that it fits the macros. So you've got to measure everything out, and some things that are calorically dense, like pizza for example, and peanut butter, you can only have a certain amount of those. You can still have some, but it's going to be a little amount. So it really comes down to, like I say, if your relationship with food is that you're okay with that, you're okay with limiting the amounts of everything you can have, then that kind of thing is going to work well for you. But if you're one of these people who they can't allow themselves to have a small amount of something, if they have something they want to have a lot of it, if that makes sense, so an extreme example of that would be, very extreme, is that these people who go to the hospital to lose weight, the doctor tells them that they've just got to reduce the overall caloric amount, so they've got to cut back on things. But then they aren't able to do that because their relationship with food is such that they can't have some without having loads, without binging on it. So this is extreme, like I say, but so then what they actually have to do is they have to say, right, well, you're going to die if you don't reduce the amount of calories you're getting. So what we need to do is just pull all carbs from your diet entirely, so you're not allowed any of these foods that you binge on. And that's the kind of same principle will apply to why, for some people, if it fits your macros, is going to be the worst option compared to clean eating. Because if you're someone who is tempted to binge on certain foods that are calorically dense, then it makes sense to eat these high satiation foods that come with eating clean, such as the brown rice, the chicken breast, broccoli. Eating that kind of thing, it's very hard to eat so much of it that you actually overeat and then end up putting on fat faster than is optimal. So from that respect, obviously, it comes down to your relationship with food ultimately. But like I say, most of the time, that's it's going to end up with if it fits your macros being the best option. In my experience, that's not always, sorry, I just contradicted myself. That's usually, in my experience, that's usually the best way to go if it fits your macros. But obviously, the reason I'm making this video is because some people, get this thing where they say clean eating is stupid because of the restriction, whereas people need to realise also that it's about what works for the individual, and that for some people clean eating is just going to be the better option. Okay guys, so I hope that's been helpful. I've been Jack with 10 Meters Fitness. I'll see you guys in the next one.